The Bunker Project, episode number 13. This week on The Bunker Project, we talk about a whole lot of stuff, and then move on to online business optimization with Wix.com. Welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project. We're live here in Vancouver at the Bunker Bar. I'm here with Bob Garlick as usual.
Hello. And you know what? It's going to be a wild one because I'm on beer number 2 already. We've had all sorts of technical problems today. We're going to talk about sometime during the show. But first, what are we going to talk about?
Today, we're going to talk about black beer as usual. We got some news about a shipment coming from Australia.
Yeah.
We're also going to talk about the book you've been reading, Twitterville.
Yeah. Awesome.
And are we going to jump into small business website optimization, or are we going to do that in the next episode?
Well, we're going to kind of wing it this show because of all the technical stuff, and we got some awesome guests tonight. So, are we going to bump those to the next show?
That's what I just asked you.
God, it's so confusing. Anyway, let's just wing it, as you said about 10 seconds ago before we started recording.
We're winging it. This episode, we're winging it, and it's kind of what we did last episode after the chocolate
I think
pairing.
the last 9 episodes we did the same.
So how about we just change the name to the Tangent Podcast?
No.
Just like Eric said before the show. All right, so we got some beer coming. Let's talk about that. We've got a listener of the show in Australia, Craig Griffiths. He's got a website that he's just about to launch called Ask Find Buy.
And you know what? I wish he had a teaser website for it because it sounds fantastic.
If you go to askfindbuy.com, you'll see they're coming soon, but it is literally coming
Which
very,
kind of
very
sucks.
soon.
I mean, you go there and it's like, oh, I'm so disappointed. I wanted to ask and find and buy.
Yeah, they should have put a funky video up there or something. But hey, it's coming.
I bet you in 2 years, it's going to be the new Yahoo.
And basically, they're setting up this new way of purchasing online, making purchase decisions social. And it sounds interesting.
Yeah, and it's very topical.
We'll have him on the show later to talk about it, I'm sure. So Craig Griffiths, he's been listening to the show since basically the first episode. And he joined the meetup group, even though he's in Australia. He's a member of the Vancouver Bunker Project meetup group.
Yeah.
So all you listeners that are listening right now that aren't in Vancouver, you can still join because someday you might take a holiday here. We're going to be here for a long time. Sign up. You'll know when we're here. And
Vancouver is an awesome place to visit. They call it the Amsterdam of North America.
For what reason?
Well, the beautiful mountains and the fresh, clean air. That's what I hear from Tourism BC.
Excellent.
So, we digress yet again.
So yeah,
you've
been putting up
no, hang on,
several
let's
episodes.
Get back to the Australian guy.
That's what we're talking about.
All right. He is so motivated.
You've been putting out an appeal because we're all about the black beer here at the Bunker.
That's exactly right.
And you've been saying, hey, we want to send us some beer from anywhere all over the world, and we'll do a review for free. And the beer is in the mail. Thule's Old Beer from Australia.
Okay, so as you know, I have no brain for details. So Andrew, that's why Thule's, that's what they're sending us. That's a black beer?
Thule's Old Black, yes.
Okay,
it's a black beer.
What do you know? Anyways, this guy, he emailed us and he said, oh yeah, this is great. I'm going to send you the beer. He packaged it up and he sent it. And then about a week later, I got an email back from him saying, oh, I just got the beer sent back to me because apparently it's illegal to send beer over the mail. So I sent him some tips and they're trying it again. So it's kind of weird. We asked for people to do something totally illegal. So really, to be safe and nice, don't do this. But if you are, it's
don't label it as beer.
Yeah, a gift. You can't, because usually what I say is like, oh, send it as a trade show promotional product. And then it goes straight through. But beer, it's a different story because there's taxation and all sorts of issues there. So you'd have to put it in a package and then maybe wrap it in some pretty paper and then say it's a vase for my friend. It's a gift. And then I'll get at my door and say, hi, Mr. Postman, what's going on? His name's Don. Very nice guy, actually. And we'll have a little chat, and he'll pat me over this little package, and I'll open it up, and black beer, awesome.
So
No,
we're going
I'll
to talk
share
all
it.
about it.
I will share it at the Bunker Show. So no.
We'll talk all about it when it comes.
Yeah,
And,
that'll be an episode just for you. But I wanted to talk about why this guy's so motivated and rabid about the Black Bear Show. And the reason is because we talk about him and his daughter says, that's cool. And I've got 2 daughters. And for them to say you're cool is a very tough thing. Because being a dad, they're exposed to it as a dad.
Well, I guess he listens to the podcast and his daughter listens
Dads
with
are
him.
weird,
and, hey,
man.
that's you, Daddy.
Exactly. Well,
There
dads
you
are
go.
weird. I said they're embarrassing. It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, it's hard enough for the wife to deal with the guy, let alone the daughters. I was like, oh my goodness, these are sick guys. Anyway,
Okay, so
we digress again.
So he's got this website coming out, askfindbuy.com. Check it out.
And you know what?
And,
I am going to buy black beer, and I'm going to find out what's going on.
Yeah, so the black beer is on its way, but you've also been doing
But through his website.
You've been doing this. I just said it before the show, but I can't remember what they're called. No, the scanner, the barcode scanner,
our
QR
promotional thing. Yeah, the QR codes. Technical dude with an awesome T-shirt from some character in some weird, I don't know, flash-based type of game. No, he says no. He's shaking. Man, this guy is so not. Pardon? Hothead Games. A hothead character. What are those barcode things called? QR codes.
Yeah.
Okay, so QR codes, and we did an advertising campaign for it, and I've actually got a PDF. So if you would like to do a QR campaign, guerrilla style, and if you're following me on Facebook, you know I spell gorilla the wrong way.
You spell everything the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Actually, I saw
one of my
someone
special talents.
made a comment on your Facebook wall that said, "Bob, spell check is your friend."
I know. Oh. But the thing, it's not my friend because I'm so dyslexic that I did a comment about, we're doing a gorilla campaign. And I spelt it gorilla, the monkey. And then the guy in Australia actually, he commented on it again to bringing him in one more time. And he said, Bob, it's Gourella and it's not gorilla. So I countered with, I don't know, man. You could do a guerrilla campaign for bananas, and you should use gorilla instead of gorilla. So with me, my spelling is so bad, I can't recognize the difference between gorilla and gorilla.
Well,
But
that's
who
okay.
cares? We're digressing yet again.
Yeah. Now, the cool thing is, to get back onto the topic before the topic,
Which
of-
was a digression.
which was the
digression.
QR codes. Frank,
Yeah.
if you're in Australia and you're looking around, you might see one there because he's been posting them all over the place.
And he's going to send some pictures. So I think that's the game we're going to play. Contact us. I will send you the PDF file. You can print it out and then basically plaster it around town and then take pictures of it because obviously people are going to rip it down and whatever. It would make awesome fodder for our Facebook image section.
All right. So, Twitterville, let's talk about that. I haven't read it yet. You're all over this book. Tell us why.
Well, okay. I read 5 or 6 books at the same time, and basically the way a book works is I read it in bed, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, finally got rid of my Facebook updates, got rid of all my email. Now I'm going to relax and try to shut my brain down, so I read to fall asleep. And I'll be reading something like Ender's Game or some other sci-fi, and then, I don't know, a page, 2 page, 3 page, boom, I pass out. So I got Twitterville. And it's not like a sci-fi book, but really, if he published it 20 years ago, it would have been sci-fi. And reading the book, and suddenly it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still reading the book. I'm halfway through, 150, 180 pages into the damn book. So way pissed off with the author for making such an engaging book. And
I was the same with Ender's Game. Eric here, one of our members here, brought the book and lent it to me, and lent you a book as well.
Yeah, that's an Orson
I
Scott Card
was
book, yeah.
I was like, I had a whole bunch of things I wanted to do on the weekend. No, all I did was read that book, cover to cover almost. It was awesome.
It is
Great book.
It's a killer series. I mean, there are what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books in the series, and it's over. Oh, who cares? We're digressing yet again, talking about science fiction books in a social
No, but that's
media
okay.
environment.
But
I mean, I can't believe it.
but that book actually is very relevant to social media.
Yeah, well, he talked
Written in
about
1977, before the internet, well before the internet.
Well, social anarchism. Really, I mean, his sister has this persona that has huge political sway, kind of like Facebook 3.0, and she is actually controlling who gets voted into the government. And it's a fake persona because she's only, what, 16 years old?
No, but she was younger.
Was she like,
Oh yeah, she was like
12?
She was like 11, 12, and her
11,
brother
12 years
was.
old. Okay, so the sci-fi part of the book is that by giving kids or society all these amazing communication tools, that is going to revolutionize or once again bump.
Basically, they were
communication down to a younger level.
they were blogging and they were on social networks.
Yeah, but they weren't shy about it. Like, you know, I talk to my kids and I say, hey, look, do you want to, instead of doing a paper route, let's do a website and monetize it and do that. And they said, oh, okay, so that's what we're going to do next summer. But that
Cool.
concept is pretty sci-fi. I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, let's go deliver papers, which is, by the way, for all your dads out there, do not say yes. It's an awful idea.
Because you're the one that's going to deliver them.
Exactly.
Hey,
I see these poor suckers, like 350 pounds worth of paper. Oh my God. I'm delivering a dead format to houses. Oh. And then here we are. No, here we are in the room. And so we'll watch a little Hannah Montana for half an hour. And then, oh, let's make $150 here by updating our webpage. I mean,
By the way, I'm talking on the Nady SP1 now because
which sounds great.
it sounds all right, but I'm not talking in my Heil classic rock and roll microphone right now because it's got a hum, unfortunately, and
Big time.
it's one of the technical difficulties we had before the show. The other one was my Tascam recorder the SD card was full, so I did a full format, and it was taking forever. So I looked it up on Google. By the way, the wireless internet is brought to you by TAC Mobility. They've generously provided us with the tools to be online here at the bunker. We got someone coming in?
No,
but-
we're just closing the door.
All right. What was I saying?
Something about social media marketing. Thank you very much. No, you were
All
talking
right.
about your Tascam and how
Yeah,
so you
the
reformat the
Tascam-
card. It takes like 15 hours to reformat.
So basically,
This is a
we
major
got
problem.
you got to do a quick format, not a long format when you're about to do a podcast. That's the
And what
general
model?
idea.
You got a Tascam.
DRO7.
Okay, so you know it looks really good. Has a really cool orange screen. Very nice
Menu system,
interface
yeah,
and
good
yada
interface.
yada yada.
But be warned, if you're going to do a full format, 5 hours.
Take the day off.
Yeah.
Which I mean, come on, they have got to upgrade the software for that unit.
Yeah.
Oh, who makes Tascam?
I believe it is Tascam is the company.
Really?
Yeah.
Can we shut? Really? Does Tascam make Tascam? Isn't it like some?
Tascam makes Tascam. All right.
I bet you it's owned by some Japanese company.
Getting back to Twitterville real quick before we move on. Twitterville.
This book, yeah. So I'm reading the book.
So exactly what do you like about it? Because before you weren't too big on Twitter. You thought it was cool, but you weren't into it.
Well, I didn't get it. I didn't understand the potential, and now I get the potential. It's awesome. And the thing about Twitter, it's not about, oh, hi, I just had lunch. I just finished my black beer. Isn't that cool? Yada, yada, yada. It's more about creating a community, and it was described in the book, actually, is if you get a close connection and really relate to somebody you're tweeting with, it's like a telephone conversation. It's back and forth, boom, 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 boom. And what's interesting, in the book, it explains what the original software was developed for was small internal teams so they can communicate. And it was based on this company that actually was doing something totally different, and one of the coders developed Twitter. He'd actually developed it many years earlier, and he said, oh, look, we could use this to get our team to coordinate because we have a virtual office. We don't know where anybody is. And basically enable people that were coders to basically say, oh, yeah, I'm at this stage on the coding, 140 characters, update. But everybody in the team was updated and said, oh, cool, because he's here, now I can do this. I'm going to Twitter. Okay, cool, I'm doing this because you're doing that. And then the guy that's doing the, oh, God, if she's doing that, I better get this done. And then somebody else would connect and it really harmonized the whole team. So that was the original concept. But what happened was the team got so excited about this software, which wasn't really called Twitter at the time, they started giving it to their friends. The guys that owned Twitter were so cool, code dudes, they were saying basically, hey, no problem, go have fun. And that is why Twitter is the way Twitter is. It's a totally socially distributed, this is a cool piece of software, this is going to help your company or help you go out and use it. And I think that's still true today.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think it's an awesome.
Look,
I think
look
it's an
how far
awesome.
my mic's
format.
gone down. Have you noticed that? Sorry, I'm lying on the floor on my
Okay.
side to get this mic to work.
So you gotta turn the knob there.
All right. Just checking my levels with my pathetic cough. So, we've covered the book. What's next?
Well, let's jump into.
beer. That's what's next.
Let's jump right into small business optimization. We've got two guests here. We got three guests here. We've got Satomi. She's a regular here at the Bunker Project. And
she was telling us earlier about she's just started her blog. Well, it's not a podcast. It's a blog to start with, right? And then she'll morph it into a podcast. We were actually talking about last show, we were talking about how to start podcasting as cost effectively as possible. And she actually beat us on the $35 or the $20 quote. She actually found a piece of technology that she already owns. And I think that is a very good thing to say. You could probably start a podcast with some technology that you got lying around. You got an iPhone? You can podcast with the iPhone. I mean, it's limiting and stuff, but you could start, you could experiment, you can get into it, see if the passion, because that's what it's all about.
You can actually start with a regular phone using a format like Blog Talk Radio or TalkShoe.com.
Yeah, for free.
Their basic packages are free, and you can record right over the phone into their system. But of course, it's not as good as recording into a computer or into a digital recorder through any kind of.
Hey, if you want to sound like us, come on, you got to lay down at least $5-6 in equipment.
Yes.
Not.
$500-$600.
Yeah,
but
then you become some like crazy male audiophile dude. You know how guys and girls think differently, and
I think you're gonna tell. You're gonna tell us.
Yeah, I said and their approach to podcasting is probably a little bit different than the way guys do it. You know, guys do it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get this mic, I'm gonna get this cable. Oh no, I'm gonna get a better cable. So hang on, this cable can attach to this and that, and you know, the guys, they go nuts, and suddenly $8,000 later, and the woman looks at it and it's like, well, I want to have these conversations. And they make these relationships with people, and then they say, yeah, I'd love to do that conversation. And they say, oh yeah, I need some technology to make this work. And so I'll use the phone, or I'll use this free service.
No, they just hire someone like Cliff Ravenscraft to set it all up for them.
Yeah, I know.
They don't have to worry about that.
But you know what I'm saying? It's a different thing. Women are more social and interactive in that sense, and guys are more onto the technology side of stuff. So that we're technically, you know, when you start, the guys tend to be technically more proficient, but the women are more social. Do you think that's true? Oh,
yep.
we got
I think it's probably there's some truth to that for sure.
I'm in touch with my feminine podcast side.
All right, so let's introduce Eric. Eric's Sternberg.
Hello, everyone.
No, hang on, you mic'd him up?
Oh yes. Before we do that, let's give him some power here.
There you go.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
So you know Eric. He's been in every single Bunker show, and the thing is, he doesn't do black beer. He does red wine, which is the equivalent of black beer.
Red wine and chocolate, if it's possible.
Oh yeah, the
Yes.
chocolate show.
A couple weeks ago.
Have
that
you guys
was awesome.
survived that? I amazing show, dude. Sorry. And
Yeah, it was a good show. It was got a little carried away, but it was a good
little
show.
carried out. Totally, it dominated the show. Are you kidding? We were totally out of control. We were like high on black chocolate.
But really, it was the show after that because of the sugar high and the extra black beer that we had during the chocolate pairing show.
Yeah, now,
And,
just giving it. Now, sorry for interrupting and stuff. This is how we do our shows. We come to the Bunker every 2 weeks, but we do 2 shows. So one, you may notice that every second show that you listen to, it's a little crazier. Bob's a little nuts, and
That's because there's more beer.
Yeah, we
talked about that.
Beer. It's like beer 3 or 4.
We talked about that a few shows ago with the different time zones. There's the meetup time and there's the podcast time, and sometimes we get a little confused, and that's okay.
Sometimes
Usually.
I'm basically confused all the time.
So Eric is here. He's from a company called Wix.com, And we want to talk about how a small to medium-sized business can start a website and
So we just had like two incredibly beautiful women go into the sub room. Come on, girls, come on in. Come on in. Yeah, come on in. Hey, it's our bartender from
waitress.
last week and our new bartender. Come on in. We're hi. Sorry, it totally distracted. It's interesting. Like these two black-clad, sexy girls come into the sub room. Everybody's saying, "What, Mikes?" And then all the heads turn away and are looking at them. Thank you, darling. Yeah, we're covered. Thank you. Anyways, hey, that's what makes us authentic.
Yeah, and that's what makes you like distractions so much.
yes.
True.
So,
Wonderful distractions.
so back to the show.
Oh, okay. God, it's like
At least
work.
for the next 2 minutes.
Yes, at least
No?
for 2 minutes.
At least.
We want to stay on the show.
So what are we going to talk
So
about?
what we're going to talk about is there's been a lot of different ways in the past to start a website and hire a website designer, get somebody to write all the code, and then there's other ways to do it through
Well, you're
blogging
talking about
sites.
the history of the development of websites. I mean,
Yeah,
let's go back to the
Okay.
yeah,
Stone Age.
let's go way back.
No,
And like 10 years or at least 10 years. Like, I used to hang out with a bunch of guys in Bangkok, and they were serious coders. And basically, what they did is they did traditional coding, in the sense that they'd sit down and they plan it all out. Like, oh, okay, we're going to do this and that because that happens, and they write this amazing code. Nowadays, you don't have to do all that type of stuff. So it's gone from there to anybody can make an awesome. In fact, they can make a website that would blow these guys away, which was happening 10 years ago. So it's the, what would you call it? The pluralization. What's that word? Oh, damn. You know, it's a kind of a Russian term. What's this? It's the masses, the unwashed masses. That sounds even better. So the unwashed masses can create a website. They don't have to be code dudes.
The proletariat.
Thank you. The proletariats can make a website now, and that is a social revolution. That's the equivalent of what happened in Russia 20 years ago or 30 years ago. That's what happened for the whole world 80, 90 years ago. That is the level.
80, 90 years ago.
Well, World War I, World War II, stuff like that. They didn't have tweeting back there, man.
No,
'Cause
they
if
didn't.
they
That's
did,
right.
they did. Yeah, but it's like, hi, I'm in the bunker, literally, and there's bombs going off, and this crazy captain that has this amazing British accent is telling me I've got to go kill myself. I'm not so cool, but I'll try and twit a little bit later.
A British accent.
Here I am in a puddle dying.
All right.
Twitter would not be so wonderful. It would be very exciting. I don't know. It's like on the front line, oh, dead. Anyways.
The wonders of Blackbeard.
Did-
Anyways, let's move
Okay.
right on into what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
The topic at hand is
The topic is basically that, like you mentioned, I mean, in the past, small business owners, non-for-profit managers, professional artists, when they actually needed their own website, they had to contact first a web designer and a web coder. They had to. But as you mentioned yourself, I mean, we are going for a change. And Wix.com, which is the free platform for creating website, the most popular platform in the world right now, actually enables anyone to create their own website without knowing code, without having any web design experience, simply using the drag and drop editor to create what they need. And it is truly a big change, not just because you don't have to use a web designer or a web coder, because finally, small business owners have the opportunity to participate online, to actually present themselves online, and through that, get a new focus on their business. Because when you create your own website, you have to go for the same process as like writing your own business plan. It's the same part, you need the same focus, and for many small business owners, it's the first time that they are required to focus in that aspect.
I think you're dead on with there. A lot of the times when I'm talking with clients and they come and say, "Oh, we want to do a website, we want to do this or that," I say, "Well, okay, that's nice, but what are you going to say? What's your content strategy?" And so for a lot of times, say, "Oh, go to GoDaddy and go to Website Tonight." But now it's even getting easier and more cost effective with services like Wix. Basically, you can go, you can experiment, you can figure out, you can shop it around. You don't even have to make it public. You can make it a private website experience, send it out to key people in your network and say, "Hey, I just done this 3-page website or a 5-page website. Check it out and then tell me, what does it tell you? What is it communicating to you?" Because you are so biased because you're in your business and you're surrounded by your business and your business is your life, that you're kind of a little out of touch with reality. And then people experience your website and they go like, "Well, I looked at your website and it sounds like you're some sort of engineering dude." And I said, No, we're selling ice cream. I said,
Yeah.
No, you're selling the process of this strange stuff that you got from head office. No, I thought you were a processor of proteins. I said, no. So really that process of discovering how to communicate your core values or the core essence of your brand is what you can experiment with these days, instead of like 5, 10, 15 years ago. It cost you $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 to experiment. You say, "Oh, we want to do a website," and the coach say, "Yeah, no problem." And you do it, then you show it to some friends and say, "Well, why doesn't it do this?" "Oh,
And
okay,
I
I'm going to
think,
talk to my developer." And it's, "Oh, great, another $6,000." And then suddenly $30,000 later, you have a website. And in today's standards, that website would be CRAP.
And I think the other point is, well, what happens if you have an event coming up on the weekend and you want to update your site?
Well, forget it.
You got to call the
update is no doubt one of the most important aspects. I mean, no less than actually creating it. The second reason that most of the Wix users use Wix is because it's so easy and it's still, you don't have to pay for the updates. I mean, if you create your website for free, no problem. I mean, if you use one of the premium offers that we have, excellent for us. But for events and other examples like that, you can actually create a free website in a matter of hours if you're good enough. And like any other person would tell you that he thinks that professional designers did it, because it's so easy to create today, not just in the Wix.com platform itself, but generally.
But even for a business in the past, if you had, if your business was going to be at a trade show and you wanted to post that at the last minute, you'd have to call your webmaster and say, "Hey, get
You're
this on."
You're going to wait for Wix.
You know, and you have to pay the big bucks to get them to do it right now.
Yeah.
You can do that now on Wix and
in a matter of minutes. By yourself.
Well, it goes beyond that. Nowadays, if you're doing a trade show, if you're not updating your website every hour based on what's happening at the trade show,
For sure.
you don't have a happening website. That's crazy. I remember many years ago when we were doing stuff in Hong Kong, we had a content management company, and that's what we sold. He said, "Look, we'll send in our writers, and the writers are going to do reports, visit different booths that are specific to your demographic, and do hourly updates, and those updates are going to be announced on the intercom." So these days, that doesn't happen. You get Twitter updates, and the Twitter's, "Oh, check out Boots 475 for some amazing new technology. Check out their website." And then it's the link and then the website. And it's about what's happening at that booth and the introduction of it. And you cannot do that unless you, well, back then, had a massive team that you were spending 80, 90, 200, 300, 500,000, and if you were Coca-Cola or Pepsi, $5 to $10 million on your website alone. Nowadays, you can do it for basically pennies.
Yeah, I mean, let's say Wix.com, for instance. I mean, in the worst case scenario, I mean, price-wise, you usually pay like $120 a year for everything.
Wow.
For having your own website and having your own domain name and starting even
hosting,
getting a
everything.
few Google AdWords coupons and Facebook advertising coupons. $120 a year for everything. Just 2 years ago, you would never even consider the option of having such a good website for less than 3,000.
Oh yeah.
I mean less. I mean
But-
we're
and not-
talking
not
about the
including
price
updates.
of updates.
Yeah.
$120 is the price of free updates a year, and now you get everything.
Yeah, well, I think the whole thing is that living in the communication business nowadays, you can say, oh, I'm going to become a web developer and I'm going to be really good at coding and man, I am going to make money for this for the next 20 years. Thank you for playing. 6 months later, that industry doesn't exist. I mean, and there's this a website called Crowded Spring. You can go there and I highly recommend it. You say, oh, look, I got $250 for logo development. I got $500 for logo development. I got $1,000 to make a website. And they have thousands and thousands and thousands of designers, incredibly creative people that will create stuff. And you basically cherry pick. Oh, I like that design. And then you negotiate with that designer. And you're not talking $10,000 or $15,000 to do something. You're talking like $1,000, $500, $250. It's basically the monetization of creativity. Now, the downside is what it's going to do is going to basically wipe out 60-70% of the really of the people that are able to survive in that mode.
You
But
mean
that's
the
okay.
professional designers?
Exactly. You know, like
So I've got a remark about that.
I used to charge $1,200 for a logo.
Of course, makes sense.
Exactly. I don't do that anymore because what's the point? Somebody can go get one done for $99.95 at one of those websites. Of course, it's a crappy logo. What I sell
you can
is
go
the
to 99 Designs, websites like that, have a contest with professional graphic designers and get amazing results.
Oh, absolutely. But what you don't get is you don't get the hindsight or you don't get the strategy behind
True.
the logo. And that was one of the things
You have to guide them all the time.
Exactly.
you
And
have
you don't get that.
Yeah.
You know, you don't the $99 logo, you get a logo. But what does that logo do? What's the meaning behind the logo? How can you monetize that logo? How can you make that logo work for you? Or the blue that's in the logo, why do we have that blue and how are we going to make it
You
work?
don't get the consultant
That
behind
is
the
an
logo.
excellent
and
point to
that
make.
that is a new thing, and it goes all the way back to the internet. There are these guys and women too that are knowledge based. They're what does Shane Gibson call those guys? Basically, it's people you go to that know they've got the breadth and the experience and the
You
depth.
mean Malcolm Gladwell?
Yeah, Malcolm Gladwell, he talks about it as well. Basically, it's like what's happening on the internet. There's so much information that you say, I'm lost in this stuff. So you go to a friend or an associate, say, who should I talk to that knows this answer? And then blah, 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 come around. Oh, I'll go talk to this guy, Bob. He's the Vancouver, he's the idea guy. And you go to me and I say, oh, yeah, it's a wonderful logo. How much that cost? Oh, it cost me $50. Goes, excellent. And this is what we're going to do with it. That costs you $150 an hour for me to tell you what to do with the logo.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I would rather you create something that 10 years ago cost you $40,000. You can get done for $1,000 because then you've got $30,000 to spend with me to actually maximize it, monetize it, and actually make money and grow your business. And that's what's revolutionary about what's going around with social media and Twitter and that.
Yeah, I mean, you brought out a very important aspect. I mean, because of technology, everything is becoming so easy and much more cost-effective that, I mean, us at Wix.com, we reach a point where our users actually found it too easy to create a website. I mean, it's an amazing point to consider, but it's today with Wix, it's too easy to create a website. And when you get to that point, I mean, when your editor is completely easy and intuitive and your offering are excellent and people like it, the next stage to help them to become and to stay as the most popular platform in the world is to give your users as much information to teach them in every way possible to understand what to design, what to optimize in their design, in their text, in their visuals, in their marketing. I mean, and that is something that I'm really proud of Wix.com because right now we have so many learning resources for our users. I mean, in our social channels, we got tips, articles, we've got a whole wiki of instruction. We got a video channel on how to do things. And we also started our offline activities, meetups, like I'm starting here right now in Vancouver, gathering everyone, Wix users or non-Wix users, everybody who wants to learn how to design a website and what to do and what not to do, how to market themselves and so on. It's all part of the Wix promise for its users to stay on top and to help them as much as possible.
I've got a question. Customizing a Wix website, are there plugins available? Like, you know, how on the blogging side, WordPress has become very popular because of all these third-party plugins.
For sure.
Is that happening with Wix as well?
Yeah, in fact, what we're talking about is adding third-party services to your Wix website. And the funny thing is, I mean, I've been here with Wix like for 3 years, and almost from the start, our users demanded that options. So a few months ago, finally, we enabled the option of you adding, I mean, if you need poll forms or a special widget player or a video list or whatever third-party service that Wix.com itself does not provide, you can just take that service, its embed code, and drop it into your design, and then you use everything together, right?
Yeah, that's
and
good.
Since we released that option, I mean, we've got hundreds of thousands of users who are already using that option, and it's amazing. You see the results, like people adding their own blogs. You can actually see it, or forms, or one of the most
Twitter
popular
feeds.
things is the Facebook group. If you want to show how many people in your Facebook group, just add that special embed code to your website, and that's it. It's shown there.
So you could add your latest tweets, like as a
Everything.
Twitter feed.
Tweets, RSS, Facebook, whatever you need to
Awesome.
get your website going.
Okay, and I know you've been asked this question before because it is a Flash-based website.
It is a Flash-based
When
website.
is HTML5 going to be available with
Okay, so it's basically two stages. The first stage is to publish to smartphones because that's the most crucial run right now. So I guess in a matter of few weeks or 1 or 2 months, we'll enable all our users with the click of a button. You have a website, just click here, and you will see it on your smartphone or anyone else. That simple.
Is that similar to like the WordPress mobile version where it formats it completely different, or is it?
I'm not familiar with that aspect still. I mean, it's just in the testing stages. But from what I saw, it just it takes your website and presents it in the most compatible way to that specific screen. Okay.
Yeah, optimizes it for the screen size.
Course,
yeah,
of course, you must.
So
that's the first stage.
So right off the bat, you're going to be compatible with Android and Windows Phone 7.
Anything that, I mean, it's HTML that everywhere, even the iPhones.
Cool.
Okay, earlier we were talking about creating iPhone apps.
Yeah.
Is that available yet?
Right now?
Not yet.
No, not yet, because as some of you know, Apple stopped all Flash options in its devices. I mean, it's their own consideration. I personally have no problem with it.
That's their game plan.
I mean, it's, but as I was starting to say, the first stage is the most crucial one is the smartphone. But the next stage, when in a 2 years' time, HTML5 will be relevant, we will have all the backend made from each HTML5 or Flash. It's your choice. You can just choose it with a click of a button, basically.
Oh, and just to let you know, that background cheering was not for our speaker. There's a hockey game going in the bar. I don't know if you can hear with the dynamic noise, but
it's Vancouver Canucks.
I just want to say this show is being we have a Twitter specialist with her today, and the show is being tweeted out. So what's your handle on Twitter?
It's the Twitter handle is @Twisted Magic MAJIC with the underscore in between the Twisted and the Magic. So yeah.
Nice. So what was your last Twitter?
My last Twitter actually was that Wix supports third-party apps now.
Oh.
So
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I actually, started using Wix probably 2 years ago to
Really?
try to do a website because I was doing Flash development at the time, and then I kind of recommended it to a lot of people, but I was looking for more third-party sort of support for Twitter feeds and things that I could embed myself into it. So
For sure.
it's nice to hear that there's more third-party stuff going on.
Well,
Yeah.
there's everything is evolving all the time, and when I say all the time, not like 6 months, it's like day to day. It's crazy how fast stuff develops nowadays, and it's all driven by need. And I think it's because of Twitter and people being liberated about, hey, I want this. Can you do this? And they can communicate to the core decision makers, and it happens, and it evolves, and everything evolves. That's what's so amazing about what's going around right now with communication and websites and blogs and you name it. This is a very exciting time to be doing communications.
So, as someone you mentioned earlier, you were looking at starting a new website again. Do you have any questions for Eric about Wix and anything that's happening now currently?
Game-based question.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. Are there plans to support games in websites?
I mean, if you can embed them already with the HTML options, I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, if you got a specific platform that we can use, then just let me know, and we'll try to develop it.
So if I had a bunch of Flash games that I developed and I wanted to put it up on my...
Well,
you
can
Flash
make
games. I think some of them you can already use.
you could have like a plugin, and it's like Flash plugin, and
But
bring that
because
over
they're
and
Flash-based,
paste in the
you
code.
don't need the plugin. You can actually drop it in, and that's it.
Yeah, but where you drop it in is the Flash bait.
Yeah, I mean,
Flash-based
inside
box,
the
you create a
HTML
yeah.
box.
It would still be embedded. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But really, it's with Wix, that's what you've got. Basically, that's how it works. Is like, here's all these options. Oh, I want to put some Flashbase stuff in. You click on the Flashbase icon. You click on the icon, and you make a big box. And when you paste the code into that particular box, boom! When you go to preview, your Flash thing plays. That's awesome. Of course, I hate Flash when you land on a page. I think Flash is very, very useful for illustrating
Okay, wait a minute.
complex concepts.
What do you mean
Oh,
you hate Flash when you land on a page?
okay, so you go to a page, and then it's like this Flash thing happens. It's downloading. So, well, I got like 3 seconds, and that's being generous. When I land on a page, I want to get to the to information. The only reason somebody's on the internet to do stuff is either, number one, entertainment, number two, information. That's it.
Knowledge Quest.
No, exactly. So if you go to a game and okay, a free Flash game website, you go there and it's, here's like 7,000 games to choose from. It's, that looks cool, and they do a good job in organizing it for you. So click on there and they go, it's uploading. Okay, and click and we got to do this mini ad, and then you play the game.
So basically, what you say is you don't like Flash advertising.
I don't want to go to a website that just like, here's this amazing.
So it's not that you hate Flash on the page; it's that you hate that.
I hate the people that have old time thinking, like, it's like 1972 advertising agency, 1980 or 1990 advertising agency. Let's put a big graphic of a sexy woman with a big thing in here. It's going to be great, and she can move around.
You hate
and
coming
it's
to a
great.
website and feel like you're driving down the Las Vegas Strip, and
It's just a waste of my time. It's a waste of my time. Now, if I go into a website, boom, it's there, and say, don't understand our concept? Click on this explanation, and then it becomes a Flash explanation. It's got moving graphics, and it helps me understand it. Well, that's cool. And
so what you're talking about is not the use of Flash. It's a function of design. The way that the site is the content.
It's the strategy about your communication. It's a strategy in your content. It's content and editorial strategy. It's like, what are we trying to get across, and how can we get that to the savvy, pre-educated consumer that's going to our website? Because that's the way you got to look at it. It's not
I think you should name your blog Editorial Strategy.
Okay.
It always comes back to editorial.
Yeah, I'm going to make a new podcast. It's out next week. It's called Bob's Editorial Strategy.
No, I mean, I completely agree with Bob, because usually that's the first main mistakes most users do. They don't have a goal. They don't have a strategy for what they're doing. I mean, us, we know a bit more than most users. So we know you have to decide what's the main action or goal of your website, and then what's your action for each and every page, and then what's the action that you want to accomplish for each and every part of your page. And the optimization is relevant for every part that you have, to the textual, to the visual, to the strategic, to the marketing, everything. But but when you get to the optimization mindset, when you take the time to think, stop and think about what you're doing for each and every part, you are already halfway there. Because, as we said before, the technology and the cost today enables you to create everything that you want with no excuses.
That's true. I totally agree. Now, before we close off the show today, is there any pointers you would like to say to people that are going to use Wix? What's the best way to approach Wix?
I think my first recommendation was, because Wix is free, is first go into the editor and play with it. Many of our users, which I talked with personally, hundreds of them, enjoy the experience. It's like many of them describe it as like kids playing and drawing. It's actually that simple.
It's a sandbox experience.
Yeah. But the results are amazing, are a professional, high-quality website. So first of all, just feel that you enjoy it. Play with it. After you feel comfortable with it, then go to the blogs or to the articles or whatever and start studying what to do and what not to do. If you're around here in Vancouver, join our group. If you're just on the Wix.com, use the platform. Just teach yourself what not to do or what to do best, how to optimize yourself.
Yeah. I played with it for a couple hours, and it's really cool.
Oh, you did an awesome job. Now, here, I'm just going to throw a brick right in the thing. And because this is a great segue for our next show, because we're going to be talking about transparency and stuff like that. If people that listen to this podcast would like to join Twix, now you say it's free, but is there an expense at any point?
No, that's the whole point. Wix is based on the freemium business model, which means what, basically? Just like many of the other more successful online companies. Let's say, for example, Wix gives you the ability to use its editor for free, which means thousands of options and features that you use actually for free. 95%, let's say, is free. 5% of those are professional options that you can choose to either pay or not pay. For example, let's say you designed your website and you want to connect it to your domain name. For that, let's say you pay $5 a month. That's it. But as I said before, if you want to have an e-commerce shop and connect your domain and have a bigger memory usage and bandwidth and everything put together, you will still won't pass the $150 a year. That's it for everything.
Okay, so my question is, if you're a Bunker Show fan, can you give Bunker Show fans a discount? Can we create a little code they can put in there and
how do you get less
Wix,
than $150 a year?
Yeah.
Well, we're just talking about, people that come here. We got all these people that are tuning in and say, you know what, I'd like to try out Wix. I'll do it for free, but I want to upgrade and like $150 or $200, whatever the thing is. Can I get 5% off if I have a code?
I'll check the analytics.
Check with the management.
No, I'll check the analytics.
Absolutely.
After this show. I'll check the analytics that are going into Wix.com, see how many went into it, get all the emails of everybody that joined, create a list, and talk with you about it, how we can give him a little bonus. Is that good?
Absolutely.
Good?
Maybe an iPhone app or something like that. Hey, we're just here to make the revolution even cheaper. All right. Hey,
Viva la révolution.
Yeah, look, we're coming up on 50 minutes now.
Viva la Wix.
Exactly. Viva la black beer. So, we're coming up 50 minutes. We're going to have to wrap up the show. Andrew, do you want to throw something in there before we run away?
No, I think that's it. Good.
Great.
Eric has one more thing to add.
Okay.
Yeah, just one last thing. As I said, we started our offline our study group. So, anyone from the Vancouver area who's interested, just go into the meetup.com platform and look for Vancouver Online Business Optimization Group. Join it, and you will join an excellent group of people who are studying how to design, create, market their online presence in every aspect possible.
Yeah, very
All
true.
right.
Now, how many members you got on that already?
We already have a 120.
So awesome party.
Yeah.
Now, and where do you guys meet up?
We got a special place that I rent from a week, 1 week and other. But it's an excellent place for studying.
And should
And
people?
it's free, completely free.
Now,
Just come and talk.
Is
That's
it a room or is it a bar?
No, it's a big room.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. And can people bring bottles of wine or stuff to
For me.
liberate?
Just
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
they're
and chocolate and
they're-
women.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, there's a couple of Vancouver. It's a
So-
big networking town.
So do attractive ladies get a discount for Wix.com?
No way. Attractive men. Exactly.
No, are they
Men
attractive?
with T-shirts with characters on them.
Yeah, with dead blue frogs on them.
It's known as the Swarm.
The Swarm frog.
Yeah,
Hey
the
man, if you got a Swarm T-shirt, you're in with Wix big time. I tell you.
If you go check out the video on YouTube with Swarm,
Is it awesome?
It's an
hey,
awesome game.
hey, zap that to me, and I'll put that on the Facebook, and we'll zap it all over the place.
Hey, did you bring your camera?
Yeah, I did. Oh, hey, I'll hand out the camera. Well, we just kind of amalgamate both shows.
All right, so we're gonna
girlfriend
be
brought me
doing
this
no
a
excuses.
posting up some pictures
Okay.
with this episode, so check it out. And that's about it for this episode. We shall see you again next week. Go to www.uncensoredsocialunderground.com. Check out our site. Go to facebook.com. Oh yes, we didn't mention we passed the limit, which was actually lowered in the last little while. You only need 25 Facebook fan members to get a Vanity Earl. So now you can find us at facebook.com/thebunkerproject.
Very nice.
Awesome.
All
Hey,
right.
and I just want to make a major complaint out to all my buddies and friends. They get a Facebook, they go little friends, and say, "Hey, can you do something?" They don't do anything. So what type of friends
Yes.
are those?
Yeah, one
Come on,
person.
guys.
One person did.
Yeah, one person out of hundreds. Give me a break. That's
okay.
worse than direct mail.
You actually got one person to take action, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, but I want more. I thought I had the cool friends. They're a bunch of drunks like me. That's all I can say.
All right, that's a wrap. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Okay, ciao, guys.